Okay, so when we started planning our soap opera trailer, the first thing we did was storyboard, which we just did that on paper because all we literally needed to do was draw out the characters and like divide our paper into different scenes, and we literally just write like what would be happening in each scene. After doing that, we then did a scene schedule and went into more detail. So we wrote down all the scenes again, but we went into more detail, like we added what characters we'd need for filming in each scene, what props we needed, what costume we needed, where the scene needed to be filmed, and what they would be saying. After doing that, we then typed up our scripts on Word document and then printed them out and gave them to our final cast. With our cast, we decided that it'd be easiest to use like our close friends because we knew that we'd be able to rely on them, and like we'd be able to like text them or ring them to like find out where they were if they weren't there. We found out their availability by like using the database on our school computer. So we literally printed off their timetables, printed off our timetables, and then cross-referenced all our free periods, and then we just sent them like emails or texts to say like, oh, would you be free this period to do this filming, blah blah blah, which that was good. It was really handy because obviously we didn't have a budget, we couldn't afford to pay for professional actors, so we just had to use like our friends. And like, to be honest, it was quite annoying sometimes because for them this doesn't really mean anything to them, but for us it did. We wanted our soap opera trailer to be as good as it could, but it didn't really help when your actors didn't always turn up to rehearsals and filming, and when they didn't take it seriously, like as you'll see in our outtakes, a lot of people just messed about and just found it funny and kept laughing in all the scenes, and that was quite hard to work with. So if we were to do it again, I would definitely use maybe drama students, because their acting will obviously be like of a good quality and they'll take it more seriously because I think they'll enjoy it more as well. So that was most of the planning that we did really, and then when actually creating the trailer, from our scene schedule we like prioritised the scenes in order of which scenes were most important and which scenes we had to have, because this is on our website by the way, and you'll see that we didn't actually film every single scene that we wanted to, and that's just because we couldn't, because we ran out of time and a lot of our actors weren't always willing to travel very far. So a lot of the scenes we had to cut, but it didn't make too much of an effect on our trailer. It didn't really mess it up too much, so that was okay. We didn't really film the scenes in order because we didn't need to, because we knew that we'd just be able to edit them later and just like shuffle them around and put one scene in front of the other scene, so that wasn't really a problem. We filmed each scene about 3 or 4 times because we wanted to get a range of like different shots and different angles, and as you'll see on our outtakes again, when we were filming a lot of people were just laughing and sometimes the filming went wrong, so we had to film some scenes we had to film more than 3 or 4 times. But once we'd done all our filming, on the video camera, we then used a program called Final Cut Express on the Mac to edit. To begin with, I actually found it really hard because I've never even used a Mac before, let alone use that program. So I had no idea what I was doing, but our teacher went through the basic things like how to cut scenes and the in and out keys. But once I'd got the hang of the program, once I knew what I was doing, it was quite easy to use it. Like obviously I stayed behind school one day and just played around with it. And it's actually, if you know what you're doing, it's actually not that bad, but it is very time consuming because with our filming, we found that once we uploaded it, I don't know why, but we were expecting it to all be like different sections, but all our filming was one big file. So I had to sit there for about 3 or 4 hours and just cut it all up, take out all the scenes that we needed and all the scenes that we didn't want to use. That took a very long time, but it had to be done. And then I had to keep rendering all the scenes, which was really annoying because that itself is again time consuming, but it has to be done. But once we'd done that, we just put all the scenes in order really, and then we added our music and played around with like the sound levels and stuff, because in some scenes we didn't want the characters talking, so we had the background, our soap opera trailer music, we had that, we had the volume of that higher. But then in the scenes where we did want the characters to be speaking, we edited the sound on that so the volume was louder so they could be heard over the music. That was quite tricky, but got there in the end. And then that was our creation. That was how we created and edited our trailer, really. We've made a video as well of me actually using the Final Cut Express program, so you get more of an idea of how it works. We had to do, for our ancillary task, we had to do a couple of things, and we decided to create 2 or 3 posters, and we created a front cover of a soap magazine. For our posters, we used Adobe Photoshop. We literally used a camera, took some pictures of our cast members, and then just edited them like crazy on Photoshop. We've got print screens and that can be seen on our website under our planning and research. We thought that like the best publicity would be posters, because we can put them up like everywhere. Like we can put them up around school, colleges, around town, supermarkets, just anywhere really, and people will see them. But we found when we were doing our research that there isn't like many posters that soaps use for publicity that we could work from. Like we didn't have many examples to work from, so we didn't really have many inspiration. So we just tried to like make our own individual touch. But I found that quite interesting, how you would think that when introducing a new soap opera, that one of the most obvious things they would do would be to make posters. But when we thought about it, I've never really seen a poster advertising a new soap. It's mainly like TV adverts and trailers, of course. So, yeah, that was quite interesting. And then when creating our magazine cover, we literally did the same. We took a picture of our main girl, Summer, and then edited that on Adobe Photoshop. And then for the magazine cover, it was easier to research ideas, because we literally just looked on the internet, like Google Images at Soap Weekly magazines, and there's magazines everywhere. Like we went into shops and took photographs of the soap opera magazines for inspiration that are already out there. And for our coursework last year, we actually had to create our own music magazines. So we looked at the front covers of that to see what worked and what didn't work, because obviously it's completely different, like a music magazine and a soap opera magazine, completely different target audience that would be interested in different things. But we took like some bits out from that as well, because at the end of the day, it's both advertising, so some things will be similar, but some things will be different. So that was for our ancillary tasks. And then with our websites for our research, we looked at like other competing soap opera websites to see what features they have. Like the common things that they all had were like feedback pages, competitions, quizzes, pictures of the cast members, storylines and things like that. So for our official website, we've sort of like looked at other websites for inspiration and used what they have, because we know that from other official websites, what they have is what the audience and the public will be interested in. So we did that. And then when making our official website, we used YOLOsite again. We decided to use YOLOsite because we're familiar with it already, because we used it for our research. But to be honest, although it's really simple, it's not very official looking, so it doesn't look very professional. So we didn't think that it was like the greatest idea, but to be honest, we're on a low budget and we tried to make it look good, so that's what that matters. Again, we used Adobe Photoshop to create pages and images, and then layered them instead of looking like they've been placed together in blocks, because then that made it easier to put the writing on top of the pictures to make it look like more artistic and different. Like we wanted our official website to stand out and look different, look arty and look sort of edgy really. So yeah, we used YOLOsite for that again.